Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Coming up later in the program, we're going to visit with Stephen Gardner. He's the author of a book called Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. I like that name. I like it when there's something, similar but different. Just kind of takes you off guard. Take a listen to this, speaking of off guard. Scientists at, I'm going to say it slow so I get it right, Monell Chemical Senses Center in Philadelphia. That's quite the name. They've discovered why your cat would rather eat a mouse than a chocolate bar. First of all, I don't have a cat, so I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently cats don't like chocolate.
I don't have
Dogs
any
like
idea.
chocolate. They're not supposed to have chocolate. Anyway, there's a major defect, according to these guys, in cats' genes, which prevent them, while they're maturing, from developing the taste receptors that detect sweets. I wish I had that defect.
So do I.
I like sweets a little too much. Researchers cannot say what meat actually tastes like to cats, but they say cats don't like sweets because of this little defect in their genes. So there you go. Coming up in a bit, we got some special things going on. We'll tell you all about that in a while on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, March the 30th. It is Doctor's Day. Happy Doctor's Day, docs. Also, grass is always browner on the other side of the fence day.
It's always greener.
That's what I thought. It is I Am in Control Day. I don't think I can celebrate that one because I am not in control day. I'm not in control any day. It is Pencil Day. It's Torrance Day. World Bipolar Day. And the last is definitely not the least. It's Manatee Appreciation Day. There's a group, Save the Manatees. They send me emails like 3 times, maybe 4 times a month about different PSAs that I should run for them. I'm like, I am not. If I played everything they sent me, that's all we would ever run is Save the Manatees PSAs. But they sent them, for Mother's Day, get your mother, adopt a manatee for your mother. I'm like, what in the world?
This is what your mom wants for Mother's Day, a sea cow.
I think there's somebody sitting in the Manatee Appreciation Day office that they're smiling right now, going, okay, what can I send John today? I'm going to send him the weirdest email that he's going to get all day. Anyway, celebrate out there one way or another on this Wednesday, the 30th day of March.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call, 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. This week is a huge week for something, Heidi. Do you know what this week is huge for?
I have no clue.
This week, this time of year, every year, dozens in each state, dozens and dozens of bunny rabbits find their way to animal shelters. It's called bunny dumping. Chris Best is a spokesperson for the Humane Society, and she says it's a big problem. Rabbits are now the 3rd most common animal to be given up after dogs, then cats.
Yeah, because everybody buys them for their kid for Easter.
Why are bunnies being dumped, and why is this week such a popular week? Well, it's because bunnies are purchased. They go, oh, hey, let's get them a bunny for Easter. It's a cute idea. That makes sense, doesn't it? You're like, oh, what a neat idea.
And then they spend 2 days cleaning up poop, and then they say, you know what?
More so, here's what happens. They say rabbits just don't like to cuddle. They're not. It's because rabbits have a self-image problem. They're prey animals. They get eaten by coyotes and carnivores. So they survive by hiding from big critters like us. They're used to being chased so often that they don't like to cuddle. They interpret that as being captured, like they think you're going to eat them. So then bunnies also start out really cute, but about 4 months in, they become like obnoxious teenagers, and they lunge at you, and they'll spray urine on you, and they'll chew on things. They must be spayed or neutered, according to this story. Otherwise, it gets even worse. It says here, rabbits require meals of fresh vegetables and hay, and they must have their nails clipped monthly and their coats brushed often.
Yeah. That's
Unlike
a lot
their
of work.
low-maintenance pet counterparts like gerbils and guinea pigs and rabbits, or gerbils and guinea pigs rather, rabbits can live a long time, often 10 years. So there's a lot of people out there that this week is the week that they say, and I don't know why they only keep them for a week, but not even a full week. They're like, yeah, we've had enough of this rabbit.
Why wouldn't you just let a rabbit go, though? I mean, a
Well,
rabbit can
listen,
just
I'm glad
let
you
go.
asked that. If you've had enough and you think I'm going to just dump this bunny in the woods under the Disney-esque impression that they're going to spend their day cavorting with other wild rabbits, shame on you. Domestic rabbits are a different breed. They're defenseless against predators. If they're left outdoors, they will either starve to death or they'll be somebody's dinner. So you don't want to do that
Unless
either.
you caught the rabbit, like on a farm or something to begin with.
If you did that and you brought him home for your kids, shame on you again. Hey, kids, look what I got you. What is that? It's a wild rabbit. It's going to tear the house apart.
I mean, if you caught a bunny, just
Yeah,
saying.
I don't know. All I know is it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Police pull over a drunk driver all the time. They do this a lot, but have you ever heard of a drunk driver pulling over the police? In all of his years patrolling the streets of Vernon, Vermont, Police Chief Ian McCollin has pulled over a lot of drunk drivers. However, they turned the tables on him recently. While heading south on Route 142, he was flagged down by another motorist. As he slowed down to help the man, Chief Ian noticed the driver pulled behind him. When Ian pulled his cruiser to the shoulder, the man pulled alongside, rolled down his side window, and made an astonishing proclamation. He told the chief, "I've been looking for a police officer to arrest me because I'm drunk."
Oh.
Although a bit suspicious, Chief Ian approached the vehicle. It became apparent the guy's assertions were quite true. 28-year-old Brian Kondo, who had a history of previous DUIs, registered more than 4 times the legal limit. Of his new captive, Ian, the officer said he was a gentleman, very polite, very cooperative. I think the guy is just really seriously looking for help. So you don't hear about that very often.
No, not at all.
So I hope he gets the help that he needs, and I'm glad that that's how this story ended, rather than him, killing a bunch of people in a car. That would have been really bad. So, for the first time ever, I think that your brain on drugs guy here did the right thing.
That's right.
Usually, that's not how these stories go. All right, coming up, we've got your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Do you remember taking your driver's test? Did you have, did you pass on the very first time?
I did pass on the first time.
Yeah, and I did not. I drove through a stop sign. So.
Oh, see, I didn't have to drive with an instructor because
What?
I had taken driver's ed.
Oh, see, that's not how it worked for me. No, I had to take a driver's test, and I drove through a stop sign, and then afterwards we went back, and I was telling my dad, I was like, I don't know. They said I went through a stop sign, and we went, and there was a tree hanging in front of the stop sign. You couldn't even see it. So I took my test 2 days later, and that tree had been cut. So
Yeah, I took driver's education, and then because I had already had driver's education, I only had to do the written test to get my license.
Well, the reason we're talking about this, we're going to head to Roseville, California, where a young lady who's unidentified in the story, may be good for her, didn't do so hot. A girl preparing for her driver's test, she crashed her car into the local DMV building.
Whoa.
She's pulling in to take the test. Officials say the girl will likely only face some personal liability costs, not to mention the embarrassment, and hopefully she'll get the extended status as a non-driving pedestrian for a while, because I don't know if she's ready for that.
Yeah.
She was pulling in to take the test and smashed into the building. So, boy, can you imagine that?
That'd be embarrassing.
That would be very embarrassing. All right, we have your scoop of the day on the way on this Wednesday.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that Americans are getting less and less sleep. Heidi, wake up. That is becoming a health concern, by the way. The CDC calls sleep loss an under-recognized public health problem associated with obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, cardiovascular disease, depression, cigarette smoking, and excessive drinking. So I can check a couple of those off the list. And I don't think I get enough sleep, but I'll tell you, lately I've been sleeping more. It's been kind of cool. What, you're acting like I don't?
No, I'm kind of in a daze because I haven't gotten enough sleep here lately.
I wondered what was going on over there.
It's been a long week.
A vacuum cleaner saved the life of a 70-year-old man. You want me to read that story?
Sure.
That sounds pretty
or
amazing,
is it going to
doesn't
suck?
it? What?
Is
no.
the story going to suck?
It sucks in a good way because a man, age 70, they used a vacuum cleaner to suck a rice cake out of his throat while he was choking. A sticky rice cake known as a mochi is made of glutinous rice, traditionally served in Japan, usually at special events. And this rice cake was stuck in his throat. His daughter grabbed a vacuum cleaner, jammed it in his throat, and sucked it right out. It saved his life.
That's quick thinking.
Yeah, 70-year-old man saved by a Hoover or a Eureka or a whatever. What are the? Can't think of other names. Apparently, those are the ones I can think of. Researchers have begun testing a drug they say could stop the aging process.
Ooh, that's
Would you
lovely.
want to be in on the clinical studies for that?
Sure.
What if you have like Benjamin Button syndrome and you turn into a baby again? I don't think I can handle that. Hey, a robber in Cologne, Germany almost botched a holdup when the clerk at the store couldn't understand what he was saying because he had his scarf on his face too tightly.
So did he remove it?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The clerk asked the tightly wrapped man, can you please repeat what you're saying? Then she realized, oh, you're robbing us. Okay. And then he walked away with $2,000. I think he was caught very shortly thereafter.
Man.
Hey, here's an indication of how influential Instagram is. See, first of all, I got to say this.
I'm not on Instagram.
I'm not really into Instagram. If you are, that's okay. But parents are now naming their babies after the app's photo filters. Instagram has these, cool little filters, and each one has a different name. Some of the big names this last year, Lux, Amaro, Hudson, Kelvin, Valencia, and there's a couple others on there too.
Hudson and Kelvin are pretty
so these
cool
are names that they were never common names before, but ever since Instagram's awesome filters, they're becoming big baby names. Experts agree that aerobic exercise routines during the day can keep you from tossing and turning at night, but they're not sure why. So saying if you get
That's probably my problem.
There you go. We should get more exercise, and then you're going to just be zonked all night long. So that's a cool thing. I have to check into that. Social networks like Twitter may blunt people's senses of reality, Heidi. They claim, this is brain scientists that are claiming this, they claim new evidence shows the digital explosion of information from networking sites have long-term damaging effects on the emotional development of young people's brains. The danger is that heavy Twitter and Facebook users could become indifferent to the emotions of people. So they'll just be walking around all day putting winky faces on things. Or whatever they... Now they have not just the like, you can love things, or you can put like a sad face or mad or whatever. Hey, if you think your teen would never text while driving, you might be wrong. More than half of high school seniors admitted in a government study that they've done just that. So talk to your kids about that. That is a very, very important thing. Researchers have engineered a hormone to make mice live longer, Heidi.
Okay.
They're currently studying the possibility of negative side effects, like, I don't know, a bunch of really old mice, apparently. I'm not sure what would be the side effects of longer living mice. Can you think of any?
Well, I'm assuming they're doing this because they want to make people live longer.
Probably. Maybe these researchers should talk to the other ones up here. I'll scroll back up. The ones that are working on the thing that could stop the aging process. Maybe they could work together.
Yeah, because if you could live longer and not age, that'd be pretty cool.
Consolidate these studies into one.
Into one pill.
There you go. Hey, time now for a strange law. It is against the law to sing off-key in North Carolina. That is good to know.
What if you can't sing on key?
You can't sing. That is a strange law, and this has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. Start earning 6%. Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com right now. What are you waiting for? Go to commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, that's commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. We've got a guest right now, Stephen Gardner, and Stephen is the author of a book. The book, I think, has got kind of a fun title. It's called A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. So you were expecting water, weren't you? No. A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street, and we're going to welcome him to the show right now. Stephen, how are you, sir?
Hey, thank you very much. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on the show, John.
Well, we're excited to have you on the show. We're going to talk about your book here in a little bit, but first let's talk a little bit about financial security. Is that possible in today's market?
You know, I get that question a lot, and with the ups and downs of the market and all that's happened since August of 2015 with the market dropping double digits and then coming back up and dropping double digits again, it's left a lot of Americans wondering, you know, can I really count on the ability to retire? Can I really count on the American dream anymore? And I believe you still can, but I don't know that it's on Wall Street. And so we have some ideas. The book certainly goes over a bridge and how to get away from Wall Street and take more control of your money and your financial future.
And think about this. When we were kids, I don't know how old you are, but I'm in my 40s now. When I was a kid, there are companies that anybody out there would have said these are big, solid, stable companies, and we've seen those companies go away. You know, times have changed, and that is kind of scary if you're saying, well, I had my money, all of my money that was stuck in, you know, Chrysler stock, or all of my money was stuck in, you know, think of some of the other big companies that have come and gone. So there are a lot of people that just don't know what to do. If they have money that they do want to invest, what kind of advice do you give to people?
You know, I think the best thing that you can do is take control of your own financial future. There's a great quote by world-famous Warren Buffett where he talks about if you're going to deliver a baby, you're probably going to do a better job having a doctor. If you need to have a cavity filled, you're probably going to do a better job having a dentist do it than trying to do it yourself. But if you look over the numbers, most people will see that they can do better on their own with their finances than with you know, Wall Street. And so, you know, that's kind of the message that we're pushing. And in the book, there's a chapter that is really opening the minds of a lot of people because Wall Street has kept this secret for many, many years now. But the chapter goes over something called a self-directed program. And basically what that is with IRA money, Roth IRA, old 401ks, people today can now take control, 100% control of their own money. They can invest it where they want. They can lend it where they want. They can put it into real estate, cars, whatever they want. There's all these incredible avenues out there outside of Wall Street. But if you don't have control of your money, you have access to zero of these programs. And Wall Street is doing zero education on this because if you walk away and take control of your own money, they lose all the fees that they're skimming off of your account, which is billions and billions of dollars, and they're out of jobs.
Yeah.
So they have to control and run your money or else they're out of a job. So unfortunately, their paycheck depends upon you staying very codependent in that relationship. And we're showing people, you know, cut the strings, walk away. There's a better way to do that.
Again, our guest right now, Stephen Gardner. He's the author of the book, A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. Also, owner and founder of the Safe Millionaire Club. Now, what is the Safe Millionaire Club?
You know, I'm a big believer in surrounding yourself with the type of people that you want to be around. And I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm well on my way there. But I know that if I want to become a millionaire, I have to start thinking like a millionaire. And so I started the Safe Millionaire Club about 4 years ago. I've been in finance since 2003, but I started this about 4 years ago, and it's been absolutely incredible. We have all these millionaire minds that come together all across the United States, and we share investment tips with each other, savings tips, real estate investing tips. So it's just this great community of people that have come together, and that's where I've learned many of the financial tools and strategies outside of Wall Street is from meeting with these different millionaires and seeing where it is that they're actually growing their money.
Awesome. Now let's talk about the book, A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. Where can we find a copy of this book?
Well, you can certainly go to my website, yourbridgeplan.com, And in fact, for the first 20 people that go there and request a book, the publisher has allowed us to give away just to your audience 20 copies of that book. So if you want to be one of the first people, go to yourbridgeplan.com. But they're welcome to pick it up there. It's also available on Amazon.com. And you can get the book, and it will be shipped out to you. And it's a great read. I've purposely made the book just over 100 pages. As I went through and met with all my clients and the people that I work with, the number one thing was boil it down. I don't need all of the details. Just get into it. What is this? How do I protect and grow my money? I don't need a 600-page book at 8-point font. And so it's a very easy read. It's written in story format, but it is chock full of information that can protect your money and get it growing with contracts and different programs that may be new to you, maybe you've never even heard of before.
And again, the book is called A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. Now, if they go to the website to get one of those first 20 free books, how do they get that?
So if you go to the website, on the far right-hand side, there's a tab that says Work With Me. When you click on that tab, it'll open up. There's a picture of me standing at a whiteboard drawing out how this lending on real estate program works. And right there, you can enter your information, and it will send an email to our fulfillment house, and they'll get a book off in the mail to your listeners.
That sounds great. Again, that website is yourbridgeplan.com. And the book, I'm excited. This sounds like a fun book. A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. Again, our guest today, Stephen Gardner. Stephen, thank you again for chatting with us today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
And again, if you'd like to know more, I'll give you that website one last time. And when you get there, if you're one of the first 20 to get there, you're going to get a free copy. If you're after that, they'll certainly help you with one as well. And they're not that expensive, so you could certainly buy one and get some great ideas. But the website, once again, is yourbridgeplan.com. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In 1876, the first microphone was invented by Emil Berliner. 1876. That's a long time ago. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The most common injury in cheerleading is a busted lip. So apparently they hit their head on somebody else's head or their face on whatever.
I can see that.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
George Washington. You know who that guy was, right?
Oh, yeah.
Our first presidente. He was deathly afraid of being buried alive, and when he died, he had it in his will that he wanted to be laid out for at least 3 days to make sure he was really dead. Speaking of presidents, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
President John Tyler had 15 children.
Huh.
15. That's a lot of kids.
That is a lot of kids.
Yeah, he was also our first president to be, they called him Your Excellency, because the first president to die in office, he was the vice president that succeeded him. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You should be ashamed of yourself. Women shoplift more than men. The ratio, by the way, for those of you wondering, 4-to-1. I think the biggest factor in this is women carry giant purses and get away with it. If men could walk around carrying purses, I think men would probably use that to their advantage too. The ones who would do any shoplifting. I have no interest in that.
Just don't shop. It's not worth it if you get caught.
It's not.
It would
It's a
be
bad
so
idea.
embarrassing.
There was like a celebrity that got caught shoplifting. What's her name?
Winona Ryder.
Yeah. How embarrassing would that be?
Yeah, especially when you've got the money to do it.
Why would you even do that? Anyway, a couple of fun facts for you on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Can you believe tomorrow is the last day of March? We are almost to April, and I just cannot believe that. It is crazy. We're going to be up to April here on Friday. Friday is April 1st, April Fool's Day. So for those of you who are putting some sort of prank together, I'm letting the cat out of the bag right now. Nobody ever mentions this, by the way. Nobody ever wants to say April Fool's Day is coming up because they don't want people to think about it. Hey, John and Heidi are here to tell you we want to help. We don't want you to fall for their shenanigans, their tomfoolery. Anyway, coming up in April, we have this thing called Tax Day, April the 15th.
Ugh.
So I have here from, who is this from? H&R Block. Says, what do children think of paying income taxes? Let's find out. H&R Block says only 24% of 8 to 11-year-olds know that the IRS collects taxes. So that would mean 76% have no clue what's
Well,
going
yeah,
on.
how would kids know?
Again, they're 8 to 11.
Yeah.
So here's what the Munchkins have to say about taxes. This is from H&R Block. It says, I think the IRS is smart and helpful. 71% agreed with that statement. Taxing my allowance would be a bad thing. 88% agreed with that statement.
Yeah?
I'd rather pay taxes on my allowance than give up TV. 50% agreed with that statement. I'd rather go to school year-round than pay allowance taxes. 48% said they would go to school over the summer rather than pay taxes on their allowance. And the final thing on the list here says, my parents are crabby and mad when they do their taxes. What percentage do you think?
Probably 99%?
No, 39%.
Oh.
So, here's what you got to remember, Heidi. There are some people who get money back for taxes.
That's true.
And they're like, skippity-doo-dah. They're all happy, excited. I'm doing my taxes. That's not how it is for us. We're like, oh, no, we got to do
You know
our
what? I don't know
taxes.
that it's ever been like that for us. We've always...
I think one year
and
we
if
got
we
a
did
rebate.
get money back, it's like $100. Like,
Yeah.
oh, whoopty crap. What are we going to do with that?
That's just enough to pay the guy that did our taxes.
Yeah, not even.
All right, there you go. Some fun stuff for you on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
After trying to steal a TV from Walmart in Ohio, judges gave Greg Davenport 2 options. You ready for these options?
Sure.
Go to jail for 30 days or wear a sign that says, I am a thief, I stole from Walmart. Which one do you think Mr. Davenport chose?
How long does he have to wear the sign?
10 days. He chose the sign.
Yeah, I would have,
He has
too.
to wear it in front of the store 8 hours a day for 10 days. He gets to pick the days. So I think they should
Yeah,
have
that's
said...
what I would have done.
They should have said, no, you're going to do it on the busiest days of the year.
You're going to do 10 Saturdays.
10 busy days, because he's like, I'll do this on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe that's busy days for them.
They're still busy all the time.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that was kind of an interesting idea, and it helps with, we've got, in this country, we've got jails that are overpopulated, so this judge thought of a clever way to say, you know what?
That's a
You're
good...
not taking up space in my jail. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make you wear a sign and stand out in front of the
And
store.
I bet he won't do it again either.
Probably not.
It's embarrassing.
Or how bad would it be if he goes in the store and steals stuff while he's wearing the sign? There's dumb people in these stores. He just might do it. Coming up, we got another fun story to share on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Interesting story here, Heidi. 3 men wanted for arson in Tifton, Georgia, recently accepted a ride to the county line from Deputy Don Allen. Seems their car broke down. When Deputy Allen stopped to help, they informed the officer that they were on their way to Panama City Beach, Florida, and would appreciate a lift, at least for part of the way. During the drive, an announcement came over the radio to be on the lookout for 3 arson suspects, one with long black hair. Deputy Allen responded to the men, "It's a good thing one of you hasn't got long black hair," to which one responded, "Yeah, I just got it cut."
Oh, wow.
The officer pulled over to the side of the road and charged Jarek Sumlin, Timothy Conister, and Scott Rawlings with first-degree arson. So,
Wow.
yeah. So the guy was saying, "Oh, it's a good thing
What
that
if
that's
it really
not you."
wasn't them, though, and he just was making a comment? Yeah, I just got my hair cut. Maybe it wasn't them.
No, it was them. That's how they caught him, because the guy was like, "Yeah, I just got a cut." Maybe you should have saved that little comment for yourself. All right. Coming up here in a bit, we've got a story about an 80-year-old man that was driving the wrong way and almost had a head-on collision with an airplane. Yeah, that's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you have funds earning less than 6%, listen to this. Commercial mortgage bridge loans pay 6% to 8%. That might be just what you need. You're placed in first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels, apartments, and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges, and you can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. I'll give you a toll-free number to call. 888-547-8007. Start earning 6% now. Call 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. This story right here is kind of scary, honestly. An 80-year-old man was driving around when he suddenly took a wrong turn and almost had a head-on collision with an airplane. Can you imagine that?
No, that'd be pretty scary.
This gentleman was driving around. He accidentally drove through a terminal gate that is usually locked. It's right next to a hangar. He drove past the hangar onto the runway, and this is in Oslo, Norway. There was a plane traveling at about 125 miles per hour.
Whoa.
When the pilot saw this old man, he accelerated and took off early to clear the man's car by only a few meters. The driver of the car, when the airplane cruised over the top of him, stopped immediately, and they had to have rescuers come out there. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Like, where in the world am I? There's
They
an
must not have
airplane that
as
just-
strict of regulations
No, they-
for drivers in...
They
'cause where
do.
was this?
This was in Oslo, Norway. But what happened is he was at the airport. He was in the vicinity of the airport. He was lost. He took a wrong turn. It was just like the perfect storm of things that went wrong here. There was a gate hanging open that's usually closed and locked. Well, this gate happened to be hanging open. So when he was trying to figure out, where do I go? Well, I'm going to drive along here next to this building. Well, the building happened to be an airplane hangar.
Wow.
He drove out onto the runway. He thought, well, this is a nice smooth road I'm on here. So, have you ever, while driving, done something that was kind of foolish like that?
Yes.
What did you do?
I was driving with my brother one time, and was not used to driving in a city. We grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
So we were in a city.
Country mouse.
And they have the median, and the one side of the median goes one way and the other side goes the other.
Yeah.
But there's two lanes on both sides.
Yeah.
Well, I was pulling out of a parking lot, and I went
The wrong way.
the wrong side of the median. I saw two lanes, and I turned into the outside lane like I'm supposed to, but they were all coming my way. That was really scary.
I did something like that while driving a busload of people. So, it was a bus that I didn't need a permit to drive, a small bus. And somebody said, hey, I didn't know you had a bus license. I was like, I don't need one. It's small enough, I don't need it. And I went around an orange cone that I said, why is this cone here? That's really weird. Well, it was because it was trying to direct me to the right. Well, I turned left towards oncoming traffic that was coming to the interstate. I was like, whoa, this is not good. So they were all giving me guff the rest of the night. So you don't have your bus license?
You
Really?
don't need one?
You don't need a bus license to drive this thing? Yeah. All right. Coming up, we got another fun story to wrap things up on the John and Heidi Show this Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up with some good news. And, I think this is really good news for a couple of reasons. First of all, here we are sitting on the 30th day of March. We're almost into April. We're getting into that time of the year where, it's going to be spring. Officially, it is spring. But it's going to feel like spring, and then it's going to be summer. So I was reading this, and I thought this was just the coolest idea ever. If you're looking for a biodegradable way to get your garden started indoors, first of all, do you plant anything ever? We don't really do this.
No.
We should, though, shouldn't we?
No.
Why not?
Are you going to go out? We don't even mow our lawn. Who's going to go out and tend a garden?
Oh, we'll take care of it. Let's get one
Right.
of those self-tending gardens. Can we get one of those? Well, for those of you who have a green thumb and you want to get your garden started indoors and you don't want to have to replant, here is such a cool idea. You're supposed to start your seeds, put a little dirt inside an ice cream cone. Plant them directly in the ground, cone and all. And then, so you'll keep them inside on the ice cream cone, but then when it's time to actually put them in the ground outside, you just dig a hole, stick the entire cone in the ground,
Okay.
and it becomes fertilizer.
Okay.
I think that is a really cool idea.
I don't know why that would work, but
Why
that's
would
fine.
it not work?
Why would it work?
Because it turns into food to feed the plant.
So plants eat ice cream cones now.
Oh, they love them. Oh, delicious. Yeah. Just the
ridiculous.
cone. You don't put ice cream in it, Heidi. What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking of putting even the cone. How's a plant going to eat a cone?
Well, it's going to turn it into food. It's biodegradable. So anyway, you plant the whole thing. You just dig a hole and stick the whole thing in the ground. But it's a way to get a jump start on your spring planting. And when I read that, I thought that was just one of the neatest things I've ever read. It's such a cool idea. So clearly Heidi disagrees. I like how I'm so excited about this. You're like, that's dumb. There are people listening out there that the role is completely reversed, where the wife was like, that's a neat idea. And the husband's like, that's dumb. So I think maybe
Our roles are usually
we got
reversed
so many
in
things
this
that are
room.
backwards here. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the good folks at Knowles Systems. If you haven't heard of them, well, you need to listen up because I got to tell you all about this. If you have funds earning less than 6%, maybe you should check into a better system like Knowles Systems. They have commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. If you've never heard of a commercial mortgage bridge loan, I'm going to tell you what this is. It's a loan paying 6% to 8%, and it could be just what you need. You're placed in the first position on loans secured by high-quality commercial real estate like hotels and apartments and office buildings. Your principal never fluctuates in value. You receive 6% per year paid monthly, and your principal is returned in full at the end of each cycle. You never pay commissions, management fees, or asset charges. You can make these loans inside or outside of an IRA. If you'd like more info on how you can start earning 6% or more right now, call 888-547-8007. I'll give you that number again in a second, but first, you might want to just check out the website if that's easier. commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com. Again, commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com or 888-547-8007.
John and Heidi.
A sweet tooth isn't always bad for your health, Heidi, at least not when it comes to chocolate. Oh,
I love chocolate.
I know you do. Researchers studying more than 33,000 Swedish women found that the more chocolate the women said they ate, the lower risk of stroke they tended to have. The results added to a growing body of evidence linking cocoa consumption to heart health. So that is some good news right there. Hey, big proof that big butts are a big deal. More than 13,000 people, that's a lot of people, more than 13,000 people in the U.S. paid a plastic surgeon to enhance their butt last year.
That is insane. I am considering paying someone to get rid of mine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine saying, hey, can you make my butt bigger, please?
Well, butt-boosting surgeries are among the fastest-growing cosmetic surgeries in the last year. American Society of Plastic Surgeons are the people that are telling us this.
That
They're
is
the ones.
ridiculous.
And they would know. Hey, statisticians, did I say that right? Statisticians? Can you try
Okay.
to say it?
I don't even know what you're trying to say, so
Statisticians?
we'll just say you're right.
I can't say it. Statisticians. That's not right either. The people who check statistics at Harvard. I can do that. And the California Institute of Technology. They've created a mathematical formula to determine whether or not you should wait for the bus that is running late or if you should leave the bus and just walk to your next destination. Now, the formula, first of all, I got to say this. If you live in an area where they don't have a bus route, don't wait for the bus. Just make sure you say
Probably
that.
not coming.
But the formula takes into account many factors, including the number of bus stops, the distances you're traveling, the average speed of the bus versus the average speed of just walking, and the probability of the bus showing up or passing you as you're walking. Again, this is from the statisticians at Harvard. Let's pretend that's the right word. And the California Institute of Technology, because they've got nothing better to look into apparently right now. The rest of the world is peaches and cream. Why would they care about this?
Who cares?
I don't get it.
Yeah. People
right.
should be able to figure those things out in their mind on their own.
Yeah.
Like while they're standing there. I'm only going
Should I take
4
the bus?
blocks. Maybe I
Or
should
should I
just
walk?
walk.
Well, a interesting story from Florida. Authorities there spent hours trying to get a 260 pound.
What's
I
that?
can't talk.
I know. You're having a tough time today.
260-pound bear to leave a local elementary school.
Oh.
Yeah. So in Florida, they spent hours trying to get a 260-pound bear to leave a local elementary school. All I
That's
can
a little
say
scary.
is that would have been the coolest show and tell ever. Why was the bear here? I don't know. Jimmy brought it for show and tell. It doesn't say why the bear was there. And my final and maybe favorite story here, this is just so ironic. Former Subway pitchman Jared Fogle. Remember the guy?
I do.
He's in prison now.
Yeah.
Well, he's now got his new post at the Federal Correctional Institute in Englewood, Colorado. Guess what he gets to do there?
He's making sandwiches.
He is. His job is in the cafeteria. He's making sandwiches.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I think that's really cool.
Might as well put him where he's used to being, I
but
guess.
the thing is, he was never making sandwiches before. He was eating sandwiches before. And here's a little testimony for his Subway diet for those of you who always thought that was foolish. He's gained a ton of weight since being in prison. He's gained, I shouldn't say a ton, but he's gained a lot of the weight back. He had lost like hundreds of pounds. And after going to prison and no longer being on his Subway diet, he has actually packed on some pounds again. So they're saying that maybe there is something to that whole Subway diet. I wanted to do that. And I tried doing that, and then I realized I can't afford to do that. So I was like, this is expensive. So, and then if you get it the way that they suggest to make it healthy, I'm like...
Then it's no good. Might as well just stay home.
I'm eating bread and, lettuce. I could do that at home.
Yeah.
All right. Your bonus break brought to you by Knowles Systems. If you've got funds earning less than 6%, you need a better system. Check out Knowles Systems. Here's what they have. Commercial mortgage bridge loans. They earn 6 to 8%. Get all of the details at commercialmortgagebridgeloans.com.